Guys, it's Sarah, and today we are going to be talking about review books because I have a lot of them. I have gotten a lot of review books from publishers, which is just incredibly generous that they even think of me to, show these on my channel and to read them and review them. And I have quite a big stack accumulating that I need to start working my way through. And I have a stack of 25, which is a lot. I actually just went through my stack and unhauled a few because I just wasn't quite interested in them anymore. So the ones that I have are the ones that I'm still interested in, and I definitely still want to read and review. I'm going to need your help though. I would like to start making a dent in these, and I want you guys to pick the first one that I'm going to read. So I'm going to show you all 25 of them and talk a little bit about what they're about. I won't go too into it because it's going to be very long. And at the end, I'm going to pick 5 of these for you guys to vote on for me to read in the month of November. And then I will read that book in November and I will do a review video. So I want you guys to pick for me. All right, let's get started. I'm going to go from oldest published to newest published. So we're going to start with the older books. Now, the first one I have, the first 2 I have were published in 2016. Winning, right? Okay, first one is Infinity by Jess Sicardo. This is a young adult science fiction that I believe, science fiction, maybe a little bit of fantasy as well. I don't know a ton about it, but I do know that this is a trilogy and they have sent me all 3 books. I have all 3 books in this trilogy and I have not even read the first one yet. So, yep. The next one was actually published in 2016, but I did not get it until 2018 because this is also the first book in a trilogy. All 3 books are out now, and I was sent all 3 books at the same time. So I actually got the trilogy when the 3rd book came out, but I got the first 2 as well. And that's Queen of Blood. This is by Sarah Beth Durst, and they sent me the first 2 in mass market paperback and then the 3rd one in a hardback. And this is I think it's a young adult fantasy book. I don't know if it's young adult or adult. It says epic fantasy on it from Harper Voyager. So I'm definitely interested in this. I've heard actually good things about, definitely the first one, but I have all 3. So yeah. The next one that I have is actually a middle grade book, and this is The Crowns of Croswell by D.E. Knight. I was sent this from the publisher, and this is actually a signed copy, which I completely forgot about somehow, but it's like personalized and everything, so that was really nice. But this is a fairy book, and it's middle grade again, and this one came out in 2017, so this one is, last year. Also in 2017 is Canary Club, and this is by Sherry D. Ficklin. This was sent to me, I think by Clean Teen Publishing, and this one is kind of a take on The Great Gatsby, kind of that time period. It's been kind of inspired by The Great Gatsby, and I wasn't sure about this one because I'd never heard of it, but it has really, really high Goodreads ratings, like 4 and up, and I had read another book from this publishing company. They sent me another one that I read and reviewed and loved that one. So I figured, I think I would give this one a try. And the next one that was in 2017 as well is actually the 3rd book in a trilogy. And I read the first 2, and I have not read the 3rd one. And the first 2 I was sent for review as well. So I did read those, and I haven't read this one. And if I read this one, it will finish up a trilogy, and I could actually do a trilogy review. So imagine that, right? Seize Today by Pentip Dunn. And this one is a dystopian series. And I really did enjoy the first 2. I think they were both 4 stars for me. I really enjoyed them. And this is book number 3, and it finishes it up. And I could go ahead and do that. I just haven't. All right, so those are my older books. Those are 2016 and 2017. I'm going to pick a couple from those for you guys to vote on because those are older. And then I'm going to pick the rest of them from my 2018, which all the rest of these came out in 2018. All right, we're going to start with February. This is Sunburn by Laura Lippman. Now, this particular one just came out in July, I think, but the hardcover original of this book came out in February, so I'm going to count it for that because that's when this book was actually published. I was sent the paperback when it came out. But I believe this is like a thriller book, possibly, and yeah. I don't know much else about it, but I have heard of Laura Lippman. I just haven't read anything by her yet, but I know she's pretty prolific. She's written a lot, and I see her books all the time. All right, into March now. Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney, and I just haven't read this one yet. I was sent it. It's actually pretty short. I believe this is a type of a thriller book as well. I haven't heard too much about it though. I haven't really heard anyone talking about it. I've seen it hauled a whole bunch, but no one's talking about it. So there's this one too. Next one came out in April, and that is Everybody Always by Bob Goff. I actually started this one. My bookmark's actually still in it. I got to page 44. And then I put it down, and I just have not picked it back up yet. So this one I'm still kind of slowly working on. It is a nonfiction. It's a Christian nonfiction. So it's something that I can kind of slowly make my way through. So it is on my nightstand right now, but I just haven't finished it. Another April release is Other People's Houses by Abby Waxman. Abby Waxman wrote The Garden of Small Beginnings that I read last year, I believe, and I really, really liked that book. And I actually had been in contact with the author about it, and she made sure that I got an advance copy of her new one, and I haven't read it, so I feel really bad about this one. I really feel like I should have read this by now when I reviewed it, but I just haven't. So, yep, yeah. Still in April is Our Little Secret by Roz Ney. I have no idea what this is about. I think it's a thriller, and I've heard pretty good things about this one, actually, from people who were kind of reading it. I haven't heard a lot about what it's actually about, though. So I think it's supposed to be some like big mystery type thing, but yeah. Next one I have is Too Close to Breathe by Olivia Kiernan. I actually did start this one, and I never picked it up and went back to it. And I don't know why. I don't know what happened to where I put it down and I just never picked it back up. I'm not sure what it is. This is a detective series that I believe takes place in Ireland, I want to say, possibly, something like that. So yeah, I'm still interested, to give it a try and see what I think. I think this is the beginning of a series, so I would know like if I wanted to continue with it or not. Yeah, but I don't know why I didn't finish it. I don't know why. All right, going into May, I have one that was published in May, and that is Furyborn by Claire Legrand. This I actually am reading in the month of November already, so this is not going to be put up for a vote because this is one of my 5-star predictions, and I need to read it to be able to do that follow-up video. This is the only one I have left on that list to read. So I will be reading this very, very soon. Like as soon as Spookathon is over, I'm going to be picking this one up. All right, moving on to the month of July, I have Freshman. This is by Tom Ellen and Lucy Iveson. And this actually follows a girl who starts college as a freshman and just kind of her experiences and what's going on. I've heard this is pretty funny. I wasn't 100% sure if I was interested in this anymore, but it's getting pretty good reviews. So I figured I would just give it a try. I said July, we're into June, sorry. Freshman was in June. This one was in June as well. Book of M by Payne Shepherd. I have heard mixed things about this one. So I'm not sure if it's worth the read or not. I need to consult my friend Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library because I know she read it and I need to get her actual opinion on it because I've heard her talk about it a little bit and I don't know if she ever like really told me what she thought. So I'm going to pick her brain later today and see if I should hang on to this or not. But yeah. I think this is a little bit of a dystopian type of book from what I'm understanding, and it has to do with memories and stuff. Also from June, I have Before and Again by Barbara Delinsky. I have never read anything by Barbara Delinsky, but I'm interested because I see her books all the time, and I've just never read anything by her. So when I was sent this unsolicited, I was pretty excited about it. This is a chunker, so this will not be on the voting list. Like, let's be real. This is a really, really big book, and I already have a really big book happening in November. So, but I'm still excited to read it. Now we're moving into July. I have All These Beautiful Strangers by Elizabeth Klefoff, and this is a psychological thriller, I believe, and it follows a group of people, and I want to say it's like a secret society type of thing, and there's drama and all that stuff. I've actually heard pretty good things about this one, so I'm interested to give it a read. I think Kayla from Books and Lala actually talked about this recently where she really liked it, so that makes me excited to read it because she's, really picky about her thrillers, and she liked it, so yeah, but I'm excited to read this one. Next one I have is July as well. This is Baby Teeth by Zoe Stage. I believe. The actual, this is the cover of it. It has a broken lollipop on it. I believe this follows a young girl who hates her mother and like she's crazy. Like crazy hates her mother and wants her out of the picture, and she's crazy. And I've heard very creepy things about it. So this could be a good time of the year to read something like this because it's supposed to be super creepy. So yeah. And I debated on this one too. Like, am I really super interested? But I've heard enough things that I think I am. So yeah, it's on here. All right, getting into August, I have The Mystery of Three Quarters by Sophie Hannah. This is an Agatha Christie novel, and it is part of the Hercule Poirot mystery series. I have heard that you can jump in on this anytime you want to, and this is not actually Agatha Christie writing it, so you really can jump in anytime. And yeah, I'm interested since I read an Agatha Christie earlier this year. I really liked it a lot. And then I got offered this one and said, absolutely, I'm interested, even though it's written under Sophie Hannah now, but she takes those characters, you know, and has continued. So interested. Also from August, I was sent Another Woman's Husband by Gil Paul. And this one sounds very interesting. It's a historical fiction-ish, but it follows a little bit more recent history where we're in the time frame where Princess Diana died and some things that happen around that. So that death happens in here for real. And then you get some things that happened kind of in the aftermath with fictional characters. And a lot of people have been talking about this one. No one has read it yet. But a lot of people are like talking about it and being excited about it. The next one I have is A Winter's Promise. This came out in September, and this is by Christelle Dabos. This was translated from French, I believe, and it's the first book in a middle grade series. And I'd heard really good things about it, actually. This is book one in the Mirror Visitor series, and I was interested in it, and it's gorgeous. This is one of the most beautiful covers ever. It is a chunker, but it is middle grade, so I know it'll go pretty quickly when I do pick it up. And yeah, we'll see. Now we're into October, so we're current here. First one is Consumed by J.R. Ward. This is the first book in a Firefire series that she is starting, and I have already read the first chapter in it and really liked it. And yeah, so I'm excited to read this one. I do like J.R. Ward as an author, and I do want to read more from her. So when I was presented the opportunity to get this one, I jumped on it. The next one for October is The Darkest Star by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is a spinoff of her Lux series, and I don't believe you have to read Lux in order to enjoy this one. I don't think that that's a thing. I think you can enjoy this without it, but it's set in the same world, following the same type of aliens that are in the Lux series. I have the Lux series, and I haven't read it. So there's that. And I don't know if I want to read that first and then get into this one, or just not worry about it. But I do have the first one. So the next one for October is The Brilliant Death by Amy Rose Capetta. This is the first book in a fantasy series. And I don't remember if it's young adult. I think it is young adult. I think, yeah, it is young adult. So not 100% sure exactly what it's about. I know I read the first chapter and that's what got me interested in it, but I haven't continued since then. And yeah, but I know it was enough that I was interested and, you know, put my name in the hat to get it. And then I ended up getting it. So, yep. The next one I have for October is Odd One Out. This is by Nick Stone. And this is a young adult book that is kind of exploring a group of three friends, and there's some love triangles happening kind of amongst them in different ways, like this way and this way and this way and this way and all sorts of stuff. So I think it's more of like a coming of age type thing where they're trying to figure out what their sexuality actually is, and it's among these three people who they trust with their lives. So I'm pretty sure it's going to get messy, but yeah, so I have this one. And the last one that I have does not come out until January, so I have some time on this, but Once Upon a River by Diane Setterfield, and the actual cover of it is in here. This is a beautiful arc, but this is the actual cover of it. So this one is not going to be on the voting because I am going to read this one in December and have a review up in January. It actually comes out January 1st, and I will, you know, plan to have that for that. But I'm currently reading a Diane Setterfield book, and the writing is beautiful, so I'm hoping it's going to be the same in here, and I'm really excited to read it. Okay, so let's talk about the 5 books I want you guys to vote on for me. So these 5 are going to be in a poll, and I'm going to have it up here. And I want you guys to pick which one I'm going to read in November and do a review video for it. So here's your choices. I picked 2 older ones and then one kind of in the middle and then 2 newer ones. So we're going to have, you know, a good variety here. First one I'm going to pick is Infinity by Jess Sicardo. This is the one that came out in 2016. It's the first in a trilogy. I have the entire trilogy. This would make me know whether or not I want to read the entire trilogy. And if I do, then I'm into a new series. Awesome. And if I don't, then I can unhaul it. And that would be a good indicator. So this is a young adult science fiction. Next one is Seize Today by Pentip Dunn. This is a young adult dystopian. And for this one, it's the 3rd book in a trilogy. I read the other 2 books and I just need to read this one and it finishes up a trilogy. I could do a trilogy review on here for you guys if that's something that you're interested in. And yeah, so if you pick this one, I would be finishing a trilogy. The next one is Too Close to Breathe by Olivia Kiernan, because I have actually already started this and I want to say I got maybe 20 pages into it, so I'd have to start it over, to be honest, but it wouldn't be too much to, you know, catch up back up to where I was. But this is an adult mystery set in Ireland following a detective and kind of things that are happening around her. So this one. For one of the newer ones, I'm going to pick Another Woman's Husband by Gil Paul, because I have seen people talking about this, but no one reading it. So I would probably be one of the first reviews coming out on BookTube about this, you know, as in a video type thing. But it's definitely one that I'm interested in. And yeah, so this one. And this is the one that involves events surrounding Princess Diana's death. And the 5th one that I'm going to pick on you guys to vote is The Winter's Promise. And this is the middle grade book that is kind of a fantasy, I believe. The first in a series, translated from French, has already won awards and sounds very interesting. This one is a big one, but it is middle grade, so I am expecting it to go a little bit fast. So the page count in this one doesn't really intimidate me that much. So this one. Okay, guys, this is it. These are the 5 books I would like you guys to vote on for me to read in November. Whichever one is the winner is going to be the one that I read and review in the month of November. So I will read it and I will have a review video up for you as well. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know if you have read any of the books that I talked about. Which ones should I push up on my TBR? I do have these set aside and I definitely just want to really start making a dent in these pretty soon. So let me know what I should pick up soon. Besides the voting, what else should I pick up as well? Okay, I will talk to you guys again soon. Please don't forget to vote and I will talk to you guys again soon.